Hey there! I hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm Becky North, and I'm here with my favorite flamingo, Lacey Verbick. How are you today, Lacey?
Oh, Becky, I am doing fantastic today. Thank you very much. I just finished a giant mug of mushroom coffee and I am rearing to go. How are you?
I am so good. It has been a beautiful weekend here in my home, surrounded by a lot of love and lots of sunshine and just being outside. And I needed that more than I knew. So, yes, I'm so, so good.
I love it. I love when you have visitors.
Yeah.
House guests, that are welcome. The welcome
Yes.
variety.
Yes, I have been blessed by my forever friend. That's what I call her. We've been friends for more of our lives than we haven't, and
Oh.
she came up this weekend, and we've got to just be present with each other. And it's crazy. I don't know if you get the joy of experiencing this, Lacey, but it's not like, oh, we have to have plans, or this is like we can just
Oh
be
yeah.
present with each other, and we've done stuff, so that's not what I mean, but like also the, oh, I don't have to create like an entertainment path, right?
Yes.
Is It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I am very
Mm,
blessed to have had that this weekend. And so,
I love
yeah.
it. I have a few friends like that. I'm so grateful for. You're one.
Oh, you
So,
too. Yes.
well, I love that you have a full weekend of the people you enjoy most. And I am also enjoying my people this weekend, but also enjoying plants, which is what this
Ah.
episode is about. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, go ahead and find your cozy corner, grab your favorite drink, and let's hang out for just a bit.
Today, we're talking about planting some joy. There's something about this time of year that pulls us outside, gets our hands a little dirty, and reminds us that growth does not happen overnight. You plant something, you water it, you take care of it, and eventually something beautiful starts to grow. Joy in our lives works the same way. It doesn't just show up out of nowhere, it's something we plant, something we nurture, something we come back to, something that shifts within us.
I
Mm.
am so excited about this episode, mostly because for those of you watching us, Lacey is smiling so big right now. I'm so excited for you all to experience how much love and light and joy she exerts when she gets to talk about plants. It's so
Ah,
much fun. And
I
I think
love
we're going to
that.
have a ton of fun here. So,
Thank you, Becky. So sweet. And I believe we do have some show and tell for you
yes.
a little later. So we're going to actually bring one of our favorite plant babies here onto the video for those of you watching us on YouTube. And we'd love for you to share photos of your plants with us as well. So tag us
Yeah.
on socials so we can share your joy. And we're going
Absolutely.
to show you some of ours at the same time. So
Yeah.
awesome. Becky, did you want to kick us off?
I think that this is such a great episode, especially following our last one where we talked about the start of spring and about like not being afraid to get messy, and now we get to just really talk about plants and that. And so I guess I'm going to kick it off with a question, which I did
Oh,
not tell you I was going to do. So surprise.
yay!
But Lacey, I would love to know, like, when did you discover how much joy plants brought you? Like, is this something you've always had? Because, like, I grew up with a really good friend who, even as like a child, loved plants, right? But like,
Mm.
or was this something that happened in your adulthood, or that? Yeah, I'd love to start
Oh,
there.
such a good question. I'll try to keep it brief. So I have discovered as a 47-year-old adult person that plants are my medicine. But my love of plants and green things and flowers included is definitely something that I've had since childhood. Um, growing up, I always knew the names of flowers and trees, and it was always like the information that stuck in my brain. Does that make sense? Like it was the one
Yeah.
thing that sort of just stuck that I was like, I don't know what to do with this, but this is weird that this information just landed on me differently than other information I was learning in school and whatever. I was always like really into science and the biology and the learning about how the things are, how things grow, how things reproduce, all that kind of stuff was always like my favorite courses in school and stuff coming up. And I grew up, my mother's a gardener. I grew up around plants and flowers and gardens because of her interests as well. So yeah, I mean, I think it's always been a part of me. It's always been something I never embraced fully. There was a time as an adult when I worked as a florist, which was a wonderful, magical time, and I think I definitely, that was the beginning of leaning in to this love and passion that I have. But I also during the time that my children were young and my parenting years, which are in their winter season right now, coming to a close because my children are both grown, mostly. But when I was in it of raising my beautiful children, I was too busy. I was too busy mentally. I was too busy physically. I was too busy to share any energy or time or attention with my love of plants and outdoor things and green spaces, and I put it away. I put it away. I felt I had to. I think a lot of you can probably relate to that, right? There's things that we absolutely love and crave and desire, and they're just not present in our day to day for various reasons. But that was the case for me for probably 20 years, the last 20 years or so. And I dabbled in a lot of other things. I did, I gave my attention to a lot of other things, and those things have led me back to here, led me back to where I am now. And I think when my daughter transitioned off to college, when I had my first child leave the nest, which I still have one at home right now, but when my first child left the nest, that was my wake up call. That was my wake up call to like, hey, you need joy. You get to take care of you now. You get to show up for your interests. You get to welcome a new hobby. You get to recalibrate, who you are, even, upgrade your identity a little bit, explore what lights you up instead of just focusing on caring and nurturing for everyone else. And also, I mean, let's be real, Becky, perimenopause and the transition, that I find myself in right now, is actually, it's true that actually the decline in estrogen, that is a natural part of the perimenopause process, actually causes us to become less nurturing. It's nature's mechanism for actually telling us that we no longer have to give everything we have to those around us. And I personally object that we have to do that ever, because I think it's important that we always care for ourselves, even when we are actively in the parenting and the caregiving. But I think that natural sort of change in me hormonally, though, has supported me in saying, hey, whoa, this is for me, and I get this time, and I get this space, and I'm going to lean in. And while I'm still nurturing something, quote unquote, nurturing plants, I'm first and foremost, I'm nurturing me. And
I love that.
so I would say my it's been about 3 years ago that I would say I really started paying attention more to the experience of plants, how it's serving me, how I can serve others through it, how it helps me to heal, how it teaches me presence, and Yeah, some super grateful for those 3 years, and probably, honestly, some of the happier years of my life. So,
I love that.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing. You said something in there I would like to ping off of if you don't mind. But
Of course.
you talked about like you put it away, right? Which
it
I
away.
think that we all have things that we put away. I think that you're very right about that. And that's different for every person, right? But one of the things that I wrote down when I was thinking about this episode and us recording was that not everything grows in every season. Right.
Ooh.
And so like
good.
some plants are planted in fall, some plants are planted in winter, some plants are planted in spring, some plants, and the same is true in our lives, right? Like not everything grows in every season. And so I would say like you were still planting, right? You were still
Yep.
planting. It was just in a different sense. And
Yes.
and I like that sentence to me, I was like, man, that's Becky obviously needed to hear that one, right? like Becky needed that. Like not everything grows in every season, and
Yes.
and it's
So
not
true.
about the forcing it, right? Because I think when we try to force it, whether it is like actually planting plants or if it's trying to force it in our lives. And I don't just mean like do the hard thing, right? I really truly mean forcing it, okay?
Yeah.
Like that result almost always ends the same.
Yep. Something gets
Right?
broken.
Something gets broken or it shrivels up and dies. Or and I just mean like we see that, right? So when we are like, no, I have to. And we've talked a lot about the letting go of have to, right? But I think, man, just remembering that not everything grows in every season is a really beautiful, like, that's okay that that's not happening right now because not everything is for every season. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, and I think, yeah, you're so right. And I want to just share a layer. Think about plants or outdoor green things, or however, wherever you find yourself. Consider a plant, for example, that might be in your house, maybe one that your family's had over the years or whatnot. That force doesn't work. Force doesn't work with plants, does it?
No.
No. If you apply force, what happens? Things die, things get broken. Like you said, Becky, things shrivel up. Things are not thriving with force, right? And honestly, I would say control and force was a theme of my parenting years. I mean, I wanted to control it all. I thought the tighter I clenched my fist, the better things were going to go. And plants, I mean, plants. I've learned a lot from a lot of sources, but plants have been a wonderful teacher for me. That they demonstrate for us presence, and they demonstrate for us what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Very quietly, right? But if we listen and pay attention, then all of those lessons are available to us.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that, Becky.
I love that.
So good, so juicy. And seasons, you're right. Seasons, one other thing. Seasons, you're so right on the seasons because even houseplants, which is my personal passion, but I'm also a gardener, but houseplants go dormant. This relates back to our previous episode, Becky, about of the season of spring and everything. And really this set of episodes we're kind of going to be sharing spring energy and moving into summer energy, but in winter we go dormant, and so do our plants. Right? The plants also take a rest, go to sleep, rebuild their energy, recalibrate, and prepare to emerge and start again. And watching that happen with plants in their natural timing, with nature in the driver's seat. There are so many lessons to learn from that.
Yeah.
That nature doesn't control, nature guides.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There is no manual. They just
Yeah.
know. And they just know because they're quiet and they're tapped in, and they're in the rhythm of
Yeah.
the natural world, and we can get closer to that. We can move closer to that if we allow ourselves to. We can feel it too,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
we have to stop with the busyness and stop with the loud world around us and come in close and quiet and listen.
Yeah.
If we want to touch in with that. And I gotta tell you, Becky, I know I have a lot to say here, okay, but I gotta tell you,
No, I love it.
The thing is, I haven't gone back the other way. Ever since I had the experience of what I would call being in the flow of
Yeah.
the natural world, from the deep sort of training I've been doing with my plants and with my gardens and things, that I'm not going back. I'm not going back the other way. No, I'm once you've experienced that, there's no going back.
Yeah.
No going back.
I love that. And I've definitely have seen that in you. Like, and I mean that in the best ways possible. So please don't take that as anything other than a compliment. But like, I have seen the slow and gentle shift, and that's exactly how I would describe it. Well, I think one of the things that you talked about is like, nature doesn't, it just allows, right? It guides, it creates, there's so much flow. And I'm like, the thing for me that I'm like, a huge learning and reminder that I needed was growth takes time.
Yes.
It doesn't happen overnight. And I think,
And it also never stops, Becky.
it doesn't.
It
Yeah.
never stops.
And I think that comes like when we talk about like repair, even, right? Like, or health and healing and all of that, like, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. And like, maybe you're at a point where you don't love something about the way your life looks right now, right? Maybe it's your body, maybe it's your house, maybe it's your finances, maybe it's all of those things, right? But like first of all, you didn't get here overnight, right? Like, and it's not going to change overnight. So the patience to let growth happen, and like, and to get rooted in the things that bring you joy, your family, your friends, maybe it's your job, maybe it's that. But like, I heard that, and Lacey, you and I talked about this right before we hit record, but like, I heard that over and over and over after we agreed on a topic. I heard, if I could tell you, like, I know that makes me sound like a crazy person, and maybe I am, right?
No.
But like, in my head, over and over and over, let joy take root in your life, let joy take root in your life, let joy take root in your life. And I mean,
Yes.
like, I'm out with my best friend, my forever friend, right, yesterday, and we were laughing and just having fun, and I hear let joy take root in your life. And I'm like, okay, this is definitely a thing. And I think we don't think about the roots, right? We don't think about the roots, but that's where all the work is happening. It's happening in the underneath that you cannot see.
Yes. Say it louder.
It's happening in the space that you can't see, right? So this doesn't mean that by planting joy, right, whether that is physical plants, which I do bring so much joy. Any person I know that loves plants. There's no, like, people are either like, nope, I have a black thumb and I can't do that, right? Like, or they love it, right? There's not really an in between. And they're like, so whether it's physically, like, you're planting and you're letting things take root, or it's in your life, like, those are not always moments that are shared, right? They're not always things that even you are cognizantly aware of. The work is happening, and a lot of what's not seen sometimes by you, and a lot by other people, right?
Yes.
And And we don't ask plants to explain that. We are not like,
Right.
hey, 100-year-old tree, what's going on with your root system? Like, right? We're not standing in the redwood forest being like, I wonder if your roots are touching, right? like that's not a thing, right? We know that nature has created something, and we do that. And with potted plants, right, we do care a little bit more about their roots and making sure that they have the space to bloom and flourish and to grow. But we don't
Yes.
often make those decisions because we pull the plant up and see its roots. We make those decisions because of what it's showing us on the outside.
That's right. Yep. The signs and
And-
symptoms. Yep.
And I think, man, like, being a mom is the hardest job in the world.
Yes.
And I am sure that a dad would say being a dad is the hardest job in the world, right? But I'm not a dad, I'm a mom. So I get to think what I think. It is often thankless. It never stops. You are everything to everyone.
Yes.
It is, you get beaten down. And it brings so much joy. It brings so much joy. Like, whether that's holding your baby for the first time, whether that is watching them take their first steps or hearing them belly gut laugh for the first time. I don't know that I'll ever forget that from any of my children. That first, like, real laugh, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's, you know, your teenage or even adult children, like, coming and having a realization that maybe they didn't have before, watching them step into who they are, right? Like, it is also the most beautiful thing.
It is.
And, like, take root in that, because the work happens where we don't see it, right? And,
Yeah.
like, we are going to be transplanted in different stages of motherhood, right? And there are going to be times where you flourish and times where you rest. And that's okay. That's so okay. It's so good.
Yes.
But I feel like, gosh, we can learn so much from plants. So much from plants. And we can bring so much joy from that. And so, please, Mama, who's listening to this today, maybe you're having a great day. Take root in that. Maybe you're having a hard day. Take root in the fact that, like, this is a season. This is a season, right?
Yes.
And you still deserve love, and you still deserve nourishment, and you still deserve that. Like, even when your houseplants are hibernating, Lacey, I know you're still taking care of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Right?
Yes.
So, and it's not always big. It's not like, I know for some people it is, and but, like, sometimes it's just, oh, it's time to water you. Right?
Yes.
Water yourself, too. Water the humans.
Yeah,
Not
water
just
the
your plants.
human. But you know what they do, Becky? Such good points. I love everything you shared. They model for me. I think I'm realizing the word is modeling for me. Plants model rest. Plants model that change is not scary. That change is to be embraced, right?
Yep.
They model presence. They model peace and ease, growth, right? They model all
Yeah.
these qualities, that I want in my life that I was previously too busy minded, too much in action to receive. Those messages, those lessons were always there. Right? So it's not a matter of it's a matter of changing our awareness of it. But they're always
Yeah.
there. Right? It's a matter of
Yeah.
learning to see
Yeah.
something that's always there.
Yeah.
And yeah, wow. I mean, yes, everything you said about taking root in all the moments. I just I love that so much. And the thing is, that's not a public, that's not anything anyone else is going to see you doing.
Or,
right? That's not,
or realize the amplification of.
yes. But that is such good advice, that that in the hard moments take root, and know that you
Yeah.
are resilient, and know that nothing lasts forever, and know that maybe it's a storm that will pass, right?
Yeah.
And also in the joy, in those moments, take root, that take root and internalize what's good, what's beautiful, what's whole, what's working.
Yes.
Right? Beautiful.
Yes.
You got me teary, girl.
Oh, well, that was not my intent. But I will say, like, also, like, maybe, okay, so when my kids were littler, I did have a lot of plants. We had, well, it started with an aloe vera. So I grew up on a farm too. We farmed, but we didn't, it's funny, we did have a flower, but it was wild flowers. And it was specifically so bees would pollinate our garden, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
we didn't plant for pretty because nobody ever saw our house. Like that wasn't a thing. We planted to feed our family, right? To nurture our family, to do that. And when my kids were littler, I did plant, and it started with an aloe vera plant because I always wanted to be able to treat sunburns, and I tried. I did much better when my kids were younger. We did a lot more homeopathic, a lot less like, and then there were more of them, and they got bigger, and we got busier, and I don't do as great a job of that anymore. But
Forgive yourself.
And that's okay, because it's a season, right? Yes. But we kind of stepped away from that, like you said, Lacey. But I had been like, you can ask her, she'll tell you. I had this dream about a plant, and I was like, okay, I need that now. Like, I need that in my life. And I have been talking to Lacey about this particular kind of plant for months now at this point. And, and like, I know that you have some of these. Tell me about, like, tell me this, tell me that, because I'm like, I know that I'm still in a very, very busy season of life. Yes, and so, something that needs like daily pruning and like that is like an infant plant. I did not have the space or time for, but I got so excited about the idea of bringing something bright and airy and living and that into our home. And I know we're going to do some show and tell here in just a little bit, Lacey, so I'm not trying to spoil that, but like, man, plants do so much. They do so much. They can bring so much joy. And if you're at a season, Lacey may disagree with this, but I'm going to say it anyways. If you're at a season where you're like, I can't take care of anything else right now, that's okay. Get something fake.
There you go.
Like, still allow the joy to come into your life.
Sure.
Still allow that, whatever that looks like, right? So, like I love plants, and I think that we should plant. But I recognize that, like when my children were infants, there is no way I could have taken care of one more thing. Could not have done it. Like, yep. Right? Right? And the only reason I feel like I could do it now is because my children are a little more self-sufficient. We're very busy, but they're more self-sufficient, right? So, like, if you're like, ooh, the greenery, the look of that, like, if you're walking by Hobby Lobby and you find hydrangeas that you love that are fake, but it brings you joy,
oh yeah, 100%.
Do it.
Heck freaking yes. I couldn't agree more. I don't disagree at all. And here's the thing. There was a time where I didn't have live plants in my house. There was a time. Yeah. You know, and I think, as you say so well, it's a season. Definitely. Season. But that doesn't mean that it has to end either.
Yeah.
Right? It can be. I think for me, I'm very, very happy to share that for me, I've discovered my purpose. This is my purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm 47, and it took this long for that to really land on me. But it doesn't have to be transient in your life. If it's something that heals you,
Yeah.
and makes you more fully expressed as yourself, then you can have that forever.
That's right.
Yeah. So, speaking of show and tell, I can't wait. Let's do it. Let's take a break, and then we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Okay.
Welcome back, guys. We are so excited. Lacey, I want you to go first because I love yours so much.
I love
I
mine
didn't
so much.
I
Okay.
didn't see it till this morning, but
Well,
we
I
are
love
going to
yours
show
so
you.
much.
We're going to show you a little bit of some of the plant joy that we have in our lives, and maybe on our social media this week, Lacey. Maybe you can walk us around your plant room.
Oh, that would be so fun. I'll do a video.
And we can share that on our stories and stuff. So watch out for that. But I would love for you to share our guest and tell us about them and why you love them so much.
Sure, I would love it. So everyone, please meet Beatrice. This is Beatrice. All my plants have names, and they usually have. I kind of try to tap into their masculine or feminine energy and then give them a name accordingly. So this is Beatrice. She is a female energy. She is peperomia. I don't know if you can see her very well. I'm trying to show her. She is a peperomia that is trimmed with pink edges. She has the most beautiful pink edges. I think you can see her pretty well. And as you can see, she is in this fucked up life flamingo container. Adorable. She sits on my shelf, but everyone please meet Beatrice. And she is a nice and easy care little darling who loves, she can thrive in medium light, so she's not super needy. She holds some water in her foliage, so she's actually kind of a waxy, thicker leaf. So she holds some of her own water, which makes her very low maintenance. So, Peperomia, have a look. Look her up online. She's gorgeous. All right. And what do you think, Becky? What do you got?
I love her. I love Beatrice. Let's give her her moment. She's beautiful. And I didn't know that's what the waxy leaves meant. So I learned something new today.
Yes. They hold their leaves, and when they hold some water in their leaves, and when they dehydrate, you'll see them kind of wrinkle up a little bit, and that's your signal.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time to water.
It's time. Okay. Well, she's not in a beautiful pot yet, because I was saving her, but this is Jackie. And, the story is that I had seen a string of pearls in my dream, like the string of pearls. And I was like, Lacey, I need one of those. So my husband had to go to one of the local box stores, and I'm going to just plug here, like, support your local nurseries, right? But we were there in our very busy life. And, I was like, I need to look for a string of pearls. I am meant to have this. And we were searching and searching and searching. And, we found her on the clearance shelf, and she was in pretty not great shape. Like, she had a lot of her soil was so dry that you could, like, stick a finger all the way around the pot wrap around. And I know that they're succulents, but, like, they still need water, right? And so, but she's actually not a string of pearls. She's a string of raindrops. So if you see, I'm going to get her close here. They're they look like little raindrops, and she is thriving. So we got her,
she's amazing.
We got her like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and her pearls only came at the longest point. They came to the middle of the pot, and she loves sunlight. She actually I hang her. It's a little unconventional, but I hang her on my curtain rod in my kitchen window sink.
That's not unconventional. That's perfect.
And we just rotate which way she's hanging, so she gets that. And Lacey taught me, I don't know if you can super see it. I think my camera is blurring, but these see the little dark slit right here? Those are their windows. And when they're open like that, it means like that they're thriving and growing, and they have plenty of water, and they do actually close up. when she needs to be watered. So that's how she communicates with me. And I will say, she doesn't normally sit on my desk, but she has been here this morning, and she has helped my energy so much. And I keep like touching her, like an emotional support pet, right? Like, so ladies, like, do the thing that brings you joy. Maybe it's a plant, maybe it's not. But like,
yes, if it's flowers, do flowers. If it's flowering plants, do flowering plants. If it's plastic plants, plastic plants. And I will confess, I have a collection of more than 120 plants right now, which is a lot, but not as many as some collectors I know. Anyway, I do have one artificial plant in my house, and it is a fiddle-leaf fig. It is an artificial fiddle-leaf fig, because those are those are like expert level, difficult to care for, and I'm not ready. So I have a like 7-foot tall fiddle-leaf fig that is artificial in my house, and I love him, but he is my only artificial baby right now. Yeah. So anyway, but I wanted, where was I going with this? I wanted to share that my 120 plants. I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, I have some fun facts, Becky, that I thought I'd share. Do we have time for that?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me. I found this article. This is from the Magnolia Company. So look them up if you want. It's from their blog, and they talk about 9 science-backed benefits of having indoor plants. So again, choose your indoor plant. Maybe it's flowering, maybe it's not. But I wanted to share these just very briefly because I think they're really good. Working with live plants can help improve your attention. Improve your attention. We can all use that, right? No matter what phase we're in, we can all use that. Number 2, interacting with indoor plants can reduce your stress levels. Of course. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, Agreed. Becky, you just said
that.
Yeah, and a colleague of mine at work, unfortunately, she lost someone. Someone had passed away, and she came to work a couple of days after that person had passed, and she went into the plant studio and picked out a peace lily and took it to her desk to sit with her, to provide comfort. And I thought that was so beautiful. But I mean, not just can they reduce stress, but they do. They are definitely a comforting presence. So indoor plants can make you more productive. This has to do with employees when they put plants at work. They've noted employees take less sick days and have lower stress levels in general. It's because of cleaner air. They measured like the air quality, and the improved air quality that the plants created caused increases in productivity. How awesome is that? So having plants makes you more social and more giving. Love that. Who doesn't want that energy in their life? Love that.
Because propagate, and then you can share.
I love to give plants away. It's fun. Indoor plants help your mental health. In one scientific study in Norway, they found that patients who were around plants reported a greater increase in well-being 4 weeks later compared to patients who didn't have greenery around them. So, like, this is like in a mental health facility. They brought in plants, and there was a huge, measurable difference. Indoor plants improve your quality of life. Of course, that's what we've just been talking about this whole episode. Indoor plants promote healing. So cool. Illness, injury, surgery, any of those things, that having plants around you actually promotes faster healing. Plants improve your indoor air quality. Yes, we talked about that, of course. They can purify common air toxins and indoor pollutants such as benzene and formaldehyde. Those are definitely not things you want in your lungs. Okay.
Nope.
So there you have it. Greenery might improve long-term health outcomes. So this is still being studied, but this was my favorite fact. they talked about what they call killer cells, which are a part of your immune response, your immune system. That they proved a 50% increase in killer cells in your immune response from spending 3 days in the woods, outdoors, like grounding yourself outdoors in nature, surrounded by plants. They saw a 50% increase in killer cells in the folks who participated in the study. Like that's unbelievable.
Crazy cool. Like
unbelievable, right?
A bear might get you, but if it doesn't.
Well, choose your woods.
I'm sorry.
That's a little dark, Becky. Okay. Choose your woods carefully.
Choose your woods carefully.
Disclaimer.
That's
choose
right.
your woods carefully. Okay. But that's amazing, right? We're not just talking about houseplants. Any plants, can have these therapeutic effects and benefits for your health. So, I just loved that. When I came across that article, I was like, oh, that so cool. And Becky and I think you all know, you beautiful listeners, you all know that we have out of the box children. My son deals with ADHD, and takes some medication which really supports him nicely. But things like houseplants can further create supportive environments for anybody that you have, in your life who may have focus or attention issues, or, various and sundry other neurodivergent, characteristics. I mean, plants and green things can be very supportive.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a happy little side effect of a new hobby.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Buy all the plants. Yeah. Buy all the plants. I feel like, Lacey, every time I talk to you, I'm like, have you gotten any new plants? Because I'm like, I love your rescue stories, and we've talked about them on several episodes here on the podcast. So
yeah,
for our listeners, we would love for you to share your plant joy with us. So excuse me, sorry. Go ahead and share those photos on social media, and don't be afraid to tag us at This Flocked Up Life.
Love it. You want to wrap us up with maybe a note about joy, Becky?
Yes, I would just say, actually, I'm going to pull my notes back out here. I had just put them away, but I wrote down something earlier that I do want to share. Okay. Joy is not just the cherry on top. It's part of the foundation. It is part of your root system. And so whether we're talking about, again, physical plants or in our own lives, joy is not, it's not just the thing you sprinkle on the top and you're like, oh, it's there. It's something that we create. It is a mindset. It is not a personality type, right? It is something that we get to create and something we get to ingrain into our root system. And if you are feeling today like, maybe I don't have enough of that, right? Maybe it is a fun little green friend to come live with you. Or maybe it's just that, you nurture and you feed your life the way that it is right now to find a little way to bring joy into it. And if your plants are looking a little down, the same thing for them. Just nurture them a little. And give yourself permission to take some time to get in the dirt and play in the water and touch them and love them. And
root yourself in joy.
Root yourself in joy.
Delicious. Thank you, Becky.
That. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Until next time.
Bye. Hey, are you still here? We have some exciting news to share with you.
Next week, we're doing something a little different. We're playing Would You Rather, and we want your help.
So please send us your funniest, most unhinged, even slightly uncomfortable Would You Rathers. Nothing is off limits. Seriously. It could be something like, would you rather spend the entire day at a plant nursery alone or spend the entire day at a kid's indoor play place on a Saturday?
Share them with us on social or send them by text or email. We can't wait to see what you come up with and to see what we get ourselves into.